Oh, what's going on YouTube? One on the X right here. Today I am rolling around in my 1299 after I had driven the V4 this morning. 1299 needs some loving. It always needs some loving. It's usually neglected. I feel bad. Anyways, so today I want to go over a little thing that I like to call lane positioning, and kind of why I drive the way that I do in the lane, and why I decided to use that position. There's many factors that are involved in lane positioning, so while you can have a tried and true method, the reality is your situation around you is really going to dictate how you set up. So let me preface everything by saying that, you know, one steadfast way isn't always going to play out in every situation. However, a good plan, a good foundation of how to set up, how to get in a lane will help you greatly and keep you safe. Now, some of what I'm going to say will match MSF's, some of it won't. Again, they're my personal experiences and opinion when it comes to stuff like this. So don't try to link the two together too much. Anyways, so as you'll see as I'm going down the road, I do change spots frequently, especially when there's more traffic than what I'm experiencing at the moment. Now, normally I like to stay in this part of the lane when it's just, there's no real traffic. If it's one lane or what have you, I kind of like to stay right here. It allows me the best field of view looking down the road. It also allows me the most room to go over the lane if need be. Now, I was sitting through MSF course one day, rider rated, and they mentioned that if a car comes over the yellow line, if you're by the yellow line, then you're going to meet head on. While I do agree with that, the other aspect of that is, if you're looking like you're supposed to, that won't be an issue. You'll see that car start to merge over, and you'll be able to move over in your lane because you have the rest of the lane to use. Again, this is my thinking, and it does work. Mind you, I've ridden and driven in many different countries, not just here, and that's what's kept me safe in that aspect. Now, coming up to stop signs, stoplights, and stuff like that, I am never in the middle part of the road, and it's not because people believe that it's all the debris and oil and everything from cars goes. That's not the reason why. It's because if you get rear-ended by someone, say there's a car in front of me, if you're dead center of that car, that means you're smacking up the back of that car as well. So you're going to get rear-ended, then you're going to run and be smashed in accordion between the other car in front of you. Now, if you're off-center, that person ran a red light. If you're off-center, should they rear-end you, that means, one, you're not going to get a dead-on shot in the back. You're going to kind of get a little, hopefully, glancing blow, which is, you know, still sucks, but in the grand scheme of suck, it's a little bit better. A little bit, mind you, not a huge amount. The other thing is, when you offset yourself, you actually can put your bike in the side view mirror, and it will get people's attention when you're there because they catch it out of the corner of their eye. Especially at night, it'll shine there. No, it won't blind them. If they're staring in their side view mirror, that means they're not paying attention to the road anyways. So, but it's enough to kind of catch the corner of your eye and catch your attention. I will do that on the passenger side as well. What I like to do on 3-lane roads is I kind of like to stay close to the lane and the line that a car beside me is in. Now, that sounds counterintuitive. You don't want to, like, well, why would you want to be close to other cars? And the reason being is, if I don't have to focus on that car, that means I can pay attention to other things, and having that car close to me because I've developed a good amount of spatial awareness, I can feel when that car's starting to come over. I can feel when it's starting to get too close to me. And I can react to, as opposed to having to stare at it and then process the information and then try to move. And that is kind of how a lot of the lane positioning has to work. Because a lot of things while riding happen in a short amount of time, you need to give yourself enough information, enough time to process that information that you can do something about it quickly. So for me, when you start looking for the distance, and you start looking down the way, that's good. I mean, you can process a lot of information and as far away as you have time. But when you're in traffic and you have cars on either side of you, you have to kind of do something that puts them in the back of your mind, but they're there, and you kind of gauge where they're at based off of where you set them up to be. It takes practice to do that. It takes practice to be able to gauge distance and time based off a very quick peripheral check. During lane positioning, I like to kind of see what the traffic is doing around me, and I'll put myself close to the vehicle that's by me and make my presence known. And people say loud pipes save lives. Now, if you're talking about it in the aspect that they'll hear you coming, you're misled. Sound doesn't travel in front of you, unfortunately, so it doesn't quite work that way. However, dumb bitch, Jesus Christ. Now, however, if they're beside you and they start to come over and you rev bomb them, that will get their attention. So again, your lane positioning will help with that. If you're over here and there's a car to your right, they have so much room to come over before you will react. Now, if you're close to that line over, say it's a 2-lane road, and you're close to this line, you're going to react much quicker, which means you'll rev bomb them much faster, which means they'll probably stay in the lane. And I do mean probably. You can never guarantee they're going to do what you expect them to do. My frame of mind when I ride and drive is think of the most ridiculous thing possible, and that person's going to do it. If you think of the most stupid thing, like right now, this person could slam on the brakes for literally no reason other than to take a picture of the mountains. And you think I'm joking. I've driven before where it was a 3-lane travel road and the person in the far left lane decided to slam on the brakes and take a picture of the sunset. I'm not even kidding. That happened. So with that mantra, you'll never be surprised. And you couple that with proper lane positioning, and you'll never go wrong. Will things surprise you? Sure. But you're going to be more prepared than what you would have been had you not thought that way. This person's going really slow and it's really annoying. Here we're coming up to an intersection. You might see that I'm now on the passenger side of the road. And by passenger, I mean passenger as if you're, in a vehicle. And the reason for that is normally in that case, in this instance, there's a median on this side, and it gives you zero room to do anything if you're by the median. Now, again, I'm off center, so if I get rear-ended, while I may clip this truck and it'll suck less. And I'm in the wrong freaking lane because I was going to go to that gas station. God damn it. Like when I don't think. Normally, this intersection, because you're coming down a hill, you can see those other cars pretty well. But as you can see ahead of me, most of these cars are running red lights. And that is very common in Tucson, unfortunately. And because of that, the left-hand turns, I'm sure there's a statistic out there that says left-hand turns are the leading cause of accidents among motorcyclists. The left-hand turns, that's the left-hand turn in front of a motorcyclist. Now, I'm on this part of the road and in this lane for two reasons. When I come up to an intersection, I can see around the turn lane normally. If it's a three-lane road, I'm in the middle lane furthest to to the outside. So basically, middle lane, passenger side, so that way I can see the car coming. It's not about them seeing you. It's never about that. Because if you ever get in an accident, or they ever hit you, they will say, I didn't see him. Some of them aren't lying, some of them are. It doesn't matter. Because it's got to be what you see. You have to be the one that reacts to their poor decision. So you got to set yourself up for the best outcome. And seeing them pull out in front of you means you're going to have time to react. Like right now, I'm in the middle lane, there's a left-hand turn, like right there, I can see them coming. Now you'll see me go back and forth between the middle lane, and the reason for that is because I got cars on either side of me. And I switched between my lane positions so that way all the cars around me see this thing moving. And I know I just said they'll never see you, and while that contradicts a little bit, it also doesn't. It's kind of a movement thing. Your eyes react to movement, and if you're moving, the likelihood of being seen goes up. Also, it gives me options because I can see around cars, especially big fucking trucks like this that keep hitting a brake for no fucking reason. The idea for lane positioning is to set yourself up for the best possible chance to not get in an accident. Personally, right now, I feel like this was a bad move on my part. I'm in a lane that I don't really want to be in. I'd rather be in the middle lane, but I also don't want to be in the middle lane because that truck up there is going kind of slow, and I'm turning left after this light, which is less than a block away. And I got people that are on their brakes. Well, they don't need to be. But look, there's a median. I'm to the right of it. I'm the outside of the median. And if you notice, I am 100% clear of this car in front of me. So should I get rear-ended, I'm going to get pushed forward into nothing. That way it's only one impact instead of two. And this jackass is on his phone, watching him in his side view mirror as he accelerates, not really paying attention, because I think he just now put his phone down. People, be safe. These are my thoughts, my opinions, the way I ride. So do it from as you will. 100% up to you. You're riding with a license legally for 12 years. So I do have a good amount of experience. Like I said, I've been in many countries, I've ridden in many countries, and it has led me to deal with driving the way that I do. So, interesting side note, this Alpinestars jacket right here holds 2 cans of Monster and or Red Bull, one in each pocket, which is why I use it to do what I affectionately call my crack runs. So, if you all liked this little video of lane positioning, please hit the like button. If you can stand my audio popping enough, please also subscribe. I will be doing more videos, obviously, now that I have an audio setup that doesn't absolutely suck. And it's, you know, it's a little warmer out. Even though it's Arizona, it's always pretty decently warm, but I ride more. But yeah, so if you like, subscribe, leave a comment, get out of my way. Let's do all those things. Please subscribe. Get more of my wonderful content whenever it becomes available, because I usually have no idea when that's going to be.